You're listening to a band of gamers podcasting since 2012. Three older best mates share a few laughs and keep you current with discussions about the latest news, consoles, and games. Join the conversation and the community. abandofgamers.com.
Yeah!
Woo! In this episode, the PlayStation 5 was revealed.
What?
The future of gaming, they called it in their event header.
They're doing another console.
Yeah, surprise.
Huh.
Yeah.
Guess I'll buy one.
We watched it. We'll talk about it. EA Play. Is that what it's called? They had an event. It's like E3 is going on, only it's not going on. Stuff is happening. News is coming.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
Plenty to talk about in there. I'm Joel, your MC, one of your three co-hosts, recording in a suburb of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Joining me on this journey, as always, my two best mates. First of all, from Vancouver, Canada. Crack your whip. She's confessing from the hip. That's the same intro as last time.
Was it?
Yeah.
No.
It was.
Oh. Yeah.
For emphasis. For emphasis.
You're getting a double shot. I'm back.
The intro was so good. It was used twice.
Yes. No, it's doing good, man.
It's Shane.
This is my realm, man. This is my orb. You know, you want to get in here, you're gonna, Anyway, cheers.
Cheers. From in Birmingham, England, severely lacking in his live music intake. It's Carl. Hey, Carl.
Yeah, I think I need an IV drip or something. Last weekend would have been Download. This weekend would have been My Chemical Romance. So it's been a bit of a strange couple of weekends since we last recorded, chaps. But man, at least the gaming's getting good.
Yeah, no end in sight, right? But when are concerts coming back? We here in the States are acting like nothing ever happened. It's right back to normal. Like, okay, you sure? Sure that's a good idea? Well, I guess we'll find out. I'm still working from home, but there's still no concerts. That's not coming back yet.
Not anytime soon.
No.
Yeah, so there you go, Palmer.
Debbie Downer.
Question.
So I got to bring it down every time. Awkward and bringing it down. That's how I like. That's how I like to start the show. Well, PS5.
Sony.
Sony PS5 Future of Gaming. It's on 6/11. So not that long ago, they announced. Well, they didn't announce. We knew it was coming, but they shared plenty of information about the new console. Let's talk about the console first. Things we mostly probably already knew. It's 4K Ultra Blu-ray, HD Blu-ray player in it. The SSD drive, ray tracing, the haptic feedback controllers, adaptive triggers, built-in mic into the controller integrated speakers, 3D audio, and they said it's easy to develop on.
Well, that's welcome, I guess.
Right? Long way from that.
They
Long
still
way
gotta
from
keep
that cell.
saying that after the PS3.
Right.
They're still going to keep drumming that out. Oh, this one's easy, guys.
We're still sorry about that cell processor.
Right?
What else? They showed it. They showed the console. It's white, as people predicted, because the controller was white. They showed it standing vertically. It's very curvy. Lots of curvatures. Very, how should I say, fancy design, not square. Architecturally
A bit
built.
spaceshipy,
Yeah. Something from another planet.
Yeah, that's the tagline.
Thank you.
It's got the blue light on it still. Only more of a backlit on both sides, kind of internal between the shell, which is white, and then the inside case, which is like black. They said, and this is their quote, most striking console design yet.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think that's apt.
Yeah. And did you notice they put out like some high res images, some like official ones or whatever. But you zoom in, and on the inside of those kind of flaps that angle out, there's texture in there. You know, it's not smooth. They got like some nice texture, but you zoom way in, and it's the cross, circle, square, buttons, like the Sony logos. That's what's creating the texture. I think once you get that in your hands and you really get a good look at it and really see all the features, I think it's really going to blow people away.
They're really going out of their way to make that a attractive looking, at least the texture. That truck that got me by surprise. I saw that also,
Right.
and I'm like, why?
Exactly. Why? But
Nice touch, I guess.
why? Yeah.
That's an extra $100 right there. You're paying for that.
Yeah. I'm sold.
It's now a $700 console.
Woo.
Nah, I don't
Still won't make a dent.
Damn.
They did not announce price, no date. They also showed some accessories. There's a controller charging station, a new headset for that 3D audio, and a new camera they showed, all in the matching white style. Not sure if it has that fancy $100 texture or not, each of those things. Surprising, there's an all-digital edition. So
Yeah, that's a little surprising.
Yeah, you get the standard with a disc, as we mentioned, the HD 4K Blu-ray disc drive. But then they have a digital, discless edition.
Just to keep that, just to get in there at that little bit lower price point. That's the only reason that's there. You know, they're gonna slap that price tag on the big boy, the big mama, and then they're gonna come in and they're gonna swoop in with that all digital, save you $100 or whatever, and slide in there with that. And there you go.
Yeah, I mean, it might save you $50, I guess. You know, if you go discless.
I don't know. We shall see. I suppose, like Shane said, it's going to be if they want to be competitive with the price against the Xbox Series X, that's probably what they're going to do to be competitive. They're not going to I doubt they're going to undercut Microsoft in price this time, except for that discless. Maybe they make that the $25 cheaper or what have you, depending on what Microsoft announces with the price. Then I noticed they had like a little stand on it, like a foot. It was standing vertically in the trailer that they showed. But then after they released a bunch of pictures, I was very curious at first if you could put it down horizontally. It's very tall. Somebody had posted a side-by-side with that next to the Xbox One X standing up. Looked like it was like 1.5 size the time. 1.5 times the size, excuse me. It's a lot taller. So you're going to need a new case, new shelf to put that in, unless you could lay it horizontally. And sure enough, you can lay it horizontally. Didn't mind the look of it vertically, but horizontally, it's really ugly.
Yeah.
The console.
See, I'm the opposite.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for it standing up because I don't really stand consoles up. I have no desire to. But laying down, to me, I was like, whoa, that looks really, really cool. I prefer it laying down. I'm going to be laying mine down. Just going to be chilling, you know. Ain't got to go to work.
I like the look of it standing up, especially that one without the disc drive. Like it's very symmetrical. It's quite a nice looking curvy thing. I think when you do lie it down, it does look a bit kind of like, because of the way that they've made the design, it looks a little bit all over the place. I think when, like, you know, the lights are off and you run your game, like I'm a fan of the LEDs and stuff. Like I've got the things on the back of the telly, so like it lights the wall up and all that. And if you look at the way this PS5 is shaped, you know, you've got those white flaps there, like Shane said, with that little bit of extra kind of detail in there. But I think I'm going to like the way that the blue LED line is going to kind of shine onto that white surface when the lights are low. I think that's going to look pretty cool. So we've got like a white TV unit as it is. So, you know, I think I've sent you chaps pictures before, and sometimes we've got the PS4 in there, the Pro, which is the Spider-Man one. Looks a bit out of place, you know, bright red shiny PS4. But that PS5 might go in there real nice, or even just stood next to it. So it kind of just fits in there nicely for me.
Yeah, I said it's ugly, but when it's in the shelf, who cares? I mean, it's not like I'm not going to buy it because I don't like the way it looks. I think the discless one laying down horizontal looked a little bit better. It's just the one with the disc had that protruding bit at the bottom. It just looked kind of funny when it was laying down. I don't know. I'm an OCD clean guy, so I'm picturing myself with like a lint-free rag over trying to keep it dust free, and there's just way too many curves and flaps on that thing for my OCD.
Oh man, gonna have to send you some of that compressed air.
Ooh. I've got some.
Ooh, right? A couple whippets.
Biggest surprise game. I think some people expected this one. I was really happy to see it. Horizon 2, Forbidden West, a proper sequel from PlayStation Studios. Guerrilla Games again. It's Far Future America, they said, is the theme or where it's taken place. And distant lands ravaged by red blight causing powerful storms. Why am I reading this? Who cares? What'd you guys think of Horizon 2?
Looked incredible. Yeah, it looks amazing, man. Might have to finish the first one of these days. Yeah. Yeah, that was really, really sharp. I mean, the first game looked incredible and still does to this day. What, 6 years later? And this one, wow, unbelievable.
Has it been that long? Has it been 5 years since that game came out?
Yeah, you heard it here first.
All right.
Yeah, but you know, it's gonna be that's gonna be a real good one. It's gonna be a real good one.
They started the show with a montage of seminal moments from the past 25 years. It's pretty good. Yeah. Get the hype train going. Then they started. The first thing they showed after that was GTA 5, expanded and enhanced.
Yeah. That was weird. Like you're leading your press conference with a game that was remastered on the last generation. Like I was very inspired when I saw that flash.
Really?
Like, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's people who love GTA out there, but you don't want to be opening your press conference. And I don't know. There's something about that just, especially with everything that was going on at the time. We had a load of protests going on, things like that. I just felt that's probably not the game you want to be, flashing up on your front of your press conference for me. But it must be 10 years old now, that game.
Yeah, it was like last year of like the PS3, Xbox 360 era. Yeah,
I think it's pretty cool for them to give. Like, I think every month that you play, or every week that you play, to the console comes out, you get some like online money and stuff. I think that's pretty cool. But
yeah, they dump.
I don't know. It doesn't shout out to me next gen. I don't know about you chaps.
But good news, Shafinsky, or maybe, I don't know. I'm just throwing this out there. Is there a good chance we'll see a Red Dead Redemption 2 coming to the next gen?
Like a remaster kind of a thing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't need it again.
That was my first thought when I saw this. Like, okay, I'm pretty, confident. I think we're going to see a Red Dead 2 brought over to the next gen. I mean, everything gets, brought back. I mean, it was kind of a little bit weird to see this GTA 5 on like its third generation, but the online community is absolutely massive. There's so many people. I mean, they're always, every month they're giving away more and more online money and whatnot, and they still continuously add new missions, new stuff to buy in there, new cars, new clothes, all this stuff in there. And the community's huge on that. So I think a lot of the GTA fans would be really, really, real pumped about this one.
Is that why they're doing it? Almost like a backwards compatible feel? Like, hey, if you're playing and loving this game right now, or you've been enjoying it for years, you can still play it on our new console? Only they're selling, it's a new disc, right? It's an expanded and enhanced version.
Yeah, I saw something like that. But then there's like the online is available at launch to everyone. I was a little bit confused by that, but it's coming.
I'm totally confused.
Yeah. It's a strange message, especially when you think Microsoft have got these kind of, I forget the terminology that they use, but where you can get it on, if you own it on the Xbox One X, you get a free upgrade on the PS5, etc. So, the Xbox Series X. So, that kind of like putting something in there like that was a bit, I don't know, but just seemed a bit strange, like mixed messages for me.
Shane's right, though. It has a huge gamer base. There's millions of people playing that. So I could see that where that would, but you don't really have to buy a new console for that. You can keep playing it where you're playing it. maybe they're going to put some additional campaign missions or something in there. I mean, that could make it potentially worth another day. Yeah, I don't know. Strange way to start the show.
They're always adding, new heists and whatnot for the online community. So, I mean, that's going to be, they're fully supporting this like no other game in history, it seems like, being that the lifespan of this game's been going for so long now, like 10 years almost. So, pretty crazy.
I think there's a history, too, of Grand Theft Auto games being shown on PlayStation stage.
Yeah.
I mean, many, many years ago, I remember Peter Moore for Microsoft had GTA 4 like tattooed on his arm because he was so excited to have it be part of an Xbox show, because it's always been in these PlayStation pressers. So there you go.
Cool.
Not Grand Theft Auto 6, but 5 expanded and enhanced. Then they showed Spider-Man, Miles Morales. It's been so almost like a sequel, maybe more of a 1.5. It wasn't really clear, but you've got the Miles Morales character, which, spoilers, kind of shows up there at the end of the last Spider-Man, so that's kind of cool, a continuation of the story. But wasn't really clear. They didn't make it clear, and then later they tweeted like it's an expansion, and then later somebody else tweeted, no, it's a full-on sequel. Not quite sure. Shane, you had a good, in one of our chats, you compared it to that Infamous game.
Yeah, the First Light expansion that they did added a bunch of gameplay, and the Uncharted Lost Legacy. And I did see one of the dudes out there come out and tweet only in the past few days that it was going to be, it's like Lost Legacy, like that type of expansion campaign.
Yeah, which, I mean, more Spider-Man. Who doesn't love that? And Miles is ace. Like, if you've watched the Into the Spider-Verse movie, it's awesome. It's such a brilliant film. And if you haven't, go and watch it. You learn a little bit about Miles maybe before going into this new game. But again, did they say this year for that one? Was it holiday this year?
I don't think they said. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't write a date down in my notes because I'm a dork.
Sure they said it this year. So I'd imagine that will be, if it's not a launch game, it will be coming up pretty close. I will see whether they bundle, the original game plus this, do it full price, or whether they go with just the Miles name on it and do it for more like, the budget. I mean, Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is a great game, was about 30 quid over here, I think, so maybe 2/3 the price of a full retail game.
Well, if you're looking for certain titles to get you excited for a PlayStation, I think Spider-Man's on that list. They showed that. Horizon Zero Dawn's on that list. Gran Turismo's on that list. Right?
It certainly is.
And they showed Gran Turismo 7. Shane, how's that game look? You get excited on your driving guy?
Looks phenomenal. And it's, visually, jaw-dropping. Unbelievable. But it's cool to see that they're, kind of going back to, where they once were and whatnot with, the customization and bringing back some older tracks and whatnot that we haven't seen in the game for a little bit, some older cars. They seem to be going back to that older formula that really worked well in, like, Gran Turismo 3, 4, and then 5 even. So, looking forward to that. Is, reading between the lines. Looks like some, there's some neat stuff in there. Not quite like a open world type thing, but the way the map was, there was like a, Gran Turismo cafe, your GT home and whatnot. So really stoked to see, that aspect of the single player campaign back, and looking forward to it. Looking forward.
They always make a great racing game. It sure did look really good. It showed off this new technology, or slightly better technology. It looked pretty good. I was impressed.
And I think the 3D audio, if they haven't had the best audio for engine sounds and whatnot over the years, but if they can nail that combined with this 3D audio, that could be a real showpiece game for this generation.
Speaking of games that you want on that list, what we got so far? We got Spider-Man sequel, kind of, Horizon Zero Dawn, Gran Turismo 7, and Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. They showed that game.
Oh, yeah.
That game that's probably the most impressive look of the technology and what an SSD drive can do for us this generation.
Yeah, I think it looked beautiful. I mean, the Ratchet and Clank game on this generation was a gorgeous game, really, really pretty game, and kind of came out of nowhere, really. In terms of whether you want to call it a remake or whatever it was, I suppose. So I was hoping for something, some a bit more Ratchet and Clank, but yeah, this thing looked gorgeous. Like the way that he was kind of falling and transitioning through different realms, and not just the realms, but one of the weapons he had was kind of like a grappling hook, and you didn't necessarily hook yourself onto a piece of the terrain and pull yourself in. You kind of fired it into the ether and then pulled the world to you. And the way that moved, like that was really impressive. Like that's kind of like almost a transition without a load time right there, like chum, straight in there. So I was like, oh, this could be interesting. And we saw proper gameplay. It looked really, really good. I'd imagine that's pretty much almost there. One for me to get into, definitely, when that comes out.
Yeah, the smooth transitions when he would pull the worlds in, you could tell that it looked like actual gameplay. Looked really, really impressive looking video they showed for that game. They said it was built from the ground up on the PlayStation 5, taking full advantage of the quick loading SSD, obviously. On that PlayStation bingo card, more games that you would hope to see, maybe potentially Little Big Planet, not there, but Sackboy, A Big Adventure. Like a platformer kind of a thing they showed. Yeah. This is from Sumo Digital.
Mario.
Yeah, different developer. 3D platformer, 4-player. A lot of co-op. Looked like, at least that's what they were showing. Little Ratchet and Clank all for one kind of look to what was happening in that game. What else? Demon's Souls.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a remake, right? Not a sequel?
Yeah, it looks a complete remake. It's only a game I dipped my toe into. I think this was... Oh God, I'll probably get slaughtered for the original developer. I think it was Atlas that did this, not From Software, who do the newer versions of Bloodborne, etc. This was on the PS3 and was a bit glitchy, a bit buggy, but kind of balls hard. Like it was really, really tough. I certainly didn't get very far in it when I first played it. But it looks like it's just completely remade from the ground up. More than a remaster, just a complete rework. Hoping that they keep kind of the environments and the feel of those environments from the original game. But yeah, I'm excited about that one. It's definitely one I'll be getting. I think I've matured as I've gone older, and I've got I played a bit of Demon's Souls, got scared of it. Played a bit of the first Dark Souls and the same. And I finally landed on Dark Souls 3 with one that felt comfortable. And managed to play through some of that game. And quite a lot of Bloodborne as well, in all fairness. So yeah, I'm quite excited. Looking forward to that.
So those are all PlayStation exclusives. But pretty good. Yes. Pretty good showing. No, those are not all launch games. I don't know if any of them are launch games.
No. It wouldn't, out of all those, it wouldn't surprise me if Ratchet and Clank is, because it looked the most complete, especially if it looked like there was gameplay, a lot of it. But it did say pre-alpha build as well. So who knows? But out of those, I'd say that might be the one that's there at launch.
Yeah, I'm not sure which of these, if any, are there. I don't think any of them would be there at launch. Maybe a pleasant surprise. Then they showed a bunch of other games, which I believe most of which will come to the Xbox as well. Anything stand out for you guys? Any game? There's just a big long list of games here on my notes. Any games stand out that you want to mention that you saw?
I'd seen Godfall before. It does look like it's going to be a little bit Borderlands with swords and shields and all that. So that's piqued my interest. I'm looking forward to having a little look into that and just see what that looks like, whether it's on PC, Xbox, PS5, whatever. The Little Devil Inside I thought was quite cool. I thought it had a really funky art style, and again just looks interesting. A bit crazy. The other one for me, I think, was probably, where's it gone? Destruction All Stars. That kind of jumped out at me a little bit. I thought, that might look good, kind of a little bit of fun. Destruction Derby meets kind of, I think you can get out of the cars as well and fight and and do all that. So like in a Rocket League meeting, Overwatch or whatever, certainly piqued my interest a little bit, that one. I thought it looked quite cool.
Yeah, that one's also, I screwed up. Sorry, guys. PlayStation Studios is just Destruction All-Stars, so that'll be a PlayStation exclusive. Another PlayStation exclusive in there. And rumor is it might even be included on the console, like a preloaded thing, Astro's Playroom, which looked to be like a demonstration of all the new capabilities of that controller.
Yeah, that looks like a package title, doesn't it?
It does. Small little game. Sorry, Shane, what were you going to say there?
I was going to say Bug Snacks, boys.
Bug Snacks. That's the Octodad guys, right?
Right? Yeah, it looks a neat little game. I mean, everything kind of looked really kind of cool. I mean, there was only a couple, which I can't really recall, that kind of looked like, tech demo-y, a little bit hokey or whatnot. But, for the most part, I mean, there's something there for everyone. It was a good, well-rounded display of what's in the works.
They also announced a new Resident Evil. Is it Village Resident Evil?
Yeah.
RE8, if you will. They showed that, so that'll be also on the Xbox. What else? Hitman 3, Death Awaits was shown. That's a January 2021, they're saying, so that's right around the corner. Ghostwire Tokyo. Look kind of
that looked like a Kojima thing. That looked a bit weird, that one. I didn't know what to make of that. Looked kind of funky, but the one that stood out for me as well was Kena, Bridge of Spirits. I thought that looked quite good. Very kind of cartoony, little cute little creatures and stuff you had to rescue, and it looked like more like an open world kind of third person kind of game. I don't think a Returnal looked quite good as well. And again, I think that was a PS5 exclusive, but it kind of looked like a third person shooter, but a bit creepy as well. Like you constantly having one day where you're kind of dying at the end of the day and you're coming back and you're losing a bit of your sanity and stuff. That looked pretty interesting.
Yeah, I thought that Kena looked pretty good as well. Kind of reminded me of Cameo a little bit.
Yes, that was the game I was thinking of.
Just a similar style, at least. Different looking, different characters. Deathloop by Arcane Studios. It's like a first-person shooter with some magic capabilities in there. Yeah, I don't know. Shane, what game stood out for you besides Buck Snacks? Or is that your game right there?
The Gran Turismo mainly. Yeah, that one's always, throw a good racing game in there, and I'm, hook, line, and sinker. Let's go.
Thought you were going to pick the kiddie game.
Not yet. Mm-hmm. I think I just need to see a little bit more.
Neat idea.
Intriguing though.
Yeah,
like
called
Cyberpunk Kitty.
Called Stray by Annapurna Interactive. That's a 2021 game. A lot of people talking about that one after the presser. And kitties. I mean, Shane,
Yep. Sold.
It's made for you. Anything else you guys want to talk about with this PlayStation 5? Let's call it a reveal. They call it the future of gaming. Happy, sad, excited?
I thought it was a decent showing. I'm surprised at how big the console is compared to the Xbox, and compared to any other console I think I've owned. It is a bit of a beast, but I think they've kind of said that they erred on the side of caution with cooling and stuff, so they want to make it a bit bigger, better ventilation. And if that means that there's less of a an error rate, then maybe that's the right thing to do. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was good sprinkling of games that you kind of thought might be in the works, and some that looked to me a bit of a surprise and maybe a bit more closer than we thought. I'm sure over the next couple of months, we'll soon get an idea of what that release window looks like in terms of the date and the games that will be available. But I thought it was fairly solid. I was quite satisfied with it.
Still waiting on that price. They're not showing their cards yet. I think Microsoft's going to be the first one to announce their price, and the chips will fall. Microsoft's got a thing planned for July, I guess. So within a month or so, they're going to have a big video or whatever they're going to do. So I anticipate they'll give us a price and a date at that point.
Yeah.
And then I think the chips will fall sort of into that. So we posted on.
I'm expecting somewhere around 500 quid, I think, over here. Maybe £450, £500, something along those lines. But hopefully with the packing game.
Yeah, I don't know. 500, I would think at least. Maybe 600, 599 maybe, I think, for the disc. 550 to 5 for the discless. That's my guess, in US dollars, at least over here.
It does feel a lot, though, doesn't it? Like when you're getting up to $600, that's I don't know. That just seems a little bit of a stretch.
Right, you started getting that Canadese pricing.
Well, you're starting to get into the price of a really decent guitar, or like you kind of that's a few hundred quid. I think you're kind of like, yeah, that's fine, console price. But when it gets too expensive, I do think you start to look and compare to other things. You're like, that's a good chunk of change. That is. It'd be interesting to see what they're saying, but all the noises from them seem to be coming out at the moment that we're not compromising quality. We're doing, it seems like they're very much setting everybody up to be like, boom, here's the price. So, yeah, I'll wait and see, I guess, but probably still order one.
I think it's just putting us in a place where getting both at launch is going to be a lot. It's a lot of money to grab both of those.
For sure.
If they're both 600, let's say. Because there's a lot of, high-end technology in these machines. I think $599 is a very logical, plausible place for these things.
Yeah, if you're going to buy both, you might as well buy a PC.
Yeah, that's where Xbox may fall a little bit. I suppose as long as they sell you their Game Pass and some software, they don't really care. But if you're you're right, $1,200 and you could probably get a decent gaming PC. I just don't like fussing with gaming PCs, dude. I'd just rather get a box under the TV and be done with it.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, I'll get it.
So posted on Twitter right after this thing, asked if you're buying are you buying a PS5, and if so, which? Choices were day one no matter what, PS5, PS5 Digital Edition, and I need to see more yet. 36.8% of the vote went with that PS5, so the disc, the $600 maybe, edition. 23% or 24% said, yeah, duh, day one, I'm in. Probably didn't even need to see the presser. Digital edition, 10% of the vote said they'd pick up the digital edition, and 28 or 30 or close to 30% said, I need to see more yet. Still a wait and see approach. We had some replies. Chris Volak said digital, perhaps day one on that digital. Dave, or at YellowBug1969 on Twitter, I will be buying a PS5 at some point, but not at launch. I'm going to wait a year. I think just in case there's a few design issues, such as overheating, etc. I like the idea of the digital version, but I also use my PS4 as a Blu-ray. So that's a consideration. Gabriel, or at SleeperHit79, said it's all about the price. The games look like my jam, but price is going to be the defining thing because Xbox looks like they're coming to play, and they could steal it from Sony with the right price. Scott, or Flip42, what's up, buddy? Been a while since I heard from him. I will eventually buy, but not day one. Still have too much on PS4 yet to play. Lance, or Lance MU Jedi on Twitter, not sure I can keep affording 3 systems anymore. Is it backwards compatible with my PS4 games? Well, partially. 100 games, they said at least, right? 100 of the biggest games. But I'm sure they're working feverishly to try and get more of them working on there. I'm in the wait and see category myself, especially on the price. I'm buying an Xbox day one.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm going to pre-order both. I won't buy both, but I will pre-order both and just have a look and see what the release window looks like.
You're going to tie up the line.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
I want to know my friend's sitting here, and you just leave your your code over the sea. On to you, man.
And if I end up having to buy both, I'll just I'll sell one. It's all good.
So you pre-order them both and then potentially cancel one as they would. Yeah. Would you just? So that's kind of wait and see then, right? I mean, you're.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to miss out. I wouldn't want to not get one and then not be able to get one close to the time. So I'd rather just hit that pre-order button the minute they go live, and definitely commit to getting one of them. But I don't know. It depends on the exclusives, and I really that Horizon game for sure. I want to play that, and I do want to play the Spider-Man, but I guess we don't know whether that will be released backwards for the PS4. Obviously they're not going to say that, but you couldn't rule out that coming, backwards. Perhaps the engine's built on PS4 and all the rest of it. So I don't know. Need more information first. I want to see what it's coming out on day one. So.
I think wait and see makes a lot of sense. Those games are a year off, man. I mean, that Horizon is going to be at least a year after launch.
Well, they're saying that I can play the Xbox ones on PC, I suppose, on launch anyway. If there are exclusives that are good, I can play them on the PC. So
it's true.
Damn, I might have just made my decision.
Glad I could help. Shane, you're buying one, right? You're a day one guy.
Yeah. No problem.
So EA Play, they had a thing with what's his face, Greg Miller. Your prom date. Still don't understand that. Anyhow,
no.
Shane, Burnout Paradise was showed there on we knew it was coming. Remastered is now out on the Switch.
Yes.
You buying? Is that you push you over the edge yet?
I keep looking, man. I keep looking to see them in stock and whatnot, and I've been following the drift issues and whatnot. I'm monitoring right now. I'm kind of surveying. I'm up on the perch, just kind of surveying what's going on down there in the land. Getting some feedback here and there, talking to people that got them. Getting their experiences and whatnot. I'll pull the trigger. Got a little bit more intel to gather.
Drift.
We're getting there.
Drift issues.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, the Joy-Cons. Yeah, they have.
Oh. Okay, I thought you meant in Burnout Paradise.
No, Burnout Paradise would be a go. That and Mario Odyssey, and probably Animal Crossing, and probably a bunch more. But I realized that I could just get the Pro controller, which is another like $900 or whatever they are, and then just rock that. But I would have to get the big boy, the OG Switch. The Super Deluxo Switch, get that bad boy and then get the Pro controller, and then I'd be fine because I'm not going to be taken anywhere. I'm not going to be probably not very much handheld. I mean, it's nice to have that option, but I think when games like Mario and Burnout Paradise, I want to play them on the big TV, So that's where I've kind of ruled out the Switch Lite at this time today, June 21st. 2020.
I think that's the right decision. You want to get the OG one for sure. My mum has just picked one up. It was her birthday in April, and she wanted to switch for her birthday for her 70th. Have a little
bless her.
Well, she still plays the Super Nintendo. You see, she still rocks that. Yeah, she's still playing Bomberman and all sorts on there. So she loves that thing. But she got two of them. But with modern TVs, it's always difficult to hook those up. So she's like, right, I want to switch. So my old man's been scouring the local retailers for one for a couple of months now, and they finally got them back in stock. So she's grabbed one of those. I think they're getting it next week. So it's. And again, she looked at that Switch Lite and she was like, but I want to be able to play on the TV. Almost looking at me like, why would you only buy one that's handheld? And I was like, oh, no, I'll get it, Mum. You want to be, and because you can play co-op as well. My dad plays as well. So that's going to be good for them. They've bought that 51 games thing. So that'll keep them going for a long time, I'd imagine.
Yeah, with Shane, though, I mean, dude, you've played Burnout Paradise on the TV. I don't know how many times already, at least twice. I know you played through. You would take that handheld. You lay back on the couch or maybe in the bed before you fall asleep. Dude, trust me, you would do that.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty slick. And it is 60 frames still. I heard that it's 720p, 60 frames, and on that little screen and handheld, 60 frames. That sounds pretty rad.
It is. Yeah, it's there, but
Or save yourself the money, mate, and remote play it on your Vita in bed. With the OLED screen.
I actually have done that.
I knew it.
See?
Burnout Paradise is so good, man. Talk about games lasting for generations. I mean, Burnout Paradise, it could come out on every generation to the end of time, and people still would buy it and still play it.
Well, back to the EA Play thing.
Oh, right.
Carl, you want to talk us through that one?
Yeah, no worries. So there wasn't a fat lot in this one, really. They talked a lot about Apex Legends. Obviously, that's still on the go, still very popular. Season 5 of that is just about starting now. And there's a new game mode on there, Lost Treasures, which is, I don't know, kind of, if you've played a few Uncharted games, the some of the skins and things will look, quite familiar. Very, very much lost civilizations and very opulent and very cool looking. So there's a few of those skins to unlock. There's a new game mode event, Armed and Dangerous, which is a timed event. So you've only got snipers and shotguns, and just cosmetics and unlocks. Really, just a bit of a filler about those. It's out on June the 23rd, I think, and it's also coming to Steam. So you'll be able to jump on there, get it on your PC, free to play, rather than, I'm assuming it'll still be linked into the actual EA service as well. So you still have to go into Origin or whatever it is, I'd assume, connect the two together.
Do they do the Fortnite thing where you got to buy the additional season, or is that included with, how's this work? Do you know?
Well, the seasons just land as they are, really. So there's the map changes and there's different things that go on and stuff. But and there's always a character released with the season as well. So there's a new character with this season coming up. You would have to buy the season pass to get that character. Similar to Fortnite, you have to buy the battle pass, and you get the different unlocks and things. You get some stuff for free, and you can work your way towards getting certain things. But yeah, if you want all the stuff in it, you do have to drop the money on it.
Okay. Still not buying it. Just curious.
Well, it's free, innit? They also confirmed it's coming out on the Nintendo Switch in the fall as well, and it's going to have cross-play with everything in the fall. So, again, something to bear in mind. Maybe get away from those PC aimbots and cross-play with people on consoles. But I'm not bitter. And talking about Steam, they're obviously doing a bit of a push about games coming to the Switch and games coming to Steam. I think on the day that this conference went out, which is Thursday, I think, they revealed that 6 games will be coming to the Steam site. Sims 4, Titanfall 2, A Way Out, Dead Space 3, being a couple of those. And they're bringing out EA Access onto Steam later in the fall as well. So you'll be able to just pay that little subscription and play all the games, including Command & Conquer, which has been remastered and come out. I don't know if you've always played that, but I whiled away many a school holiday playing that RTS. It was so much fun.
Nice.
Yeah, cracking little game. So yeah, you'll be able to, another way for you to get onto EA Access if you want to do that. Get on there. Going back to the Switch, they did say that they've got 7 new games coming out. Joel's touched on Burnout Paradise, obviously Apex Legends as well. And I think they were really pushing this inclusivity and the cross-play mechanics, so they want to have a bit of a presence over there on the Nintendo Switch. And they talked a little bit about some developer focus for a couple of the smaller studios as well. There's a couple of interesting things in there. The one that jumped out at me was Rocket Arena, which kind of looked a little bit like Overwatch, I guess, but just with rocket launchers and rocket boosts, rocket jumps, very much rocket focused. But it had a Green Day song playing on there, which obviously caught my attention. So listening to that, I was like, oh yeah, Fire Ready Aim, I know that. And,
that's a banger, that tune.
Yeah, right. And it just fit with it really well. So it grabs the attention. Hopefully it's in the game, but we'll wait and see. It might just be, sourced for the adverts. But it looks interesting. 10 different heroes to play with, jumping, dodging, climbing, with all the aid of rockets. Looks pretty fun. It's out on July 14th, so not too far away at all. And again, this will be the same thing with Apex, with Fortnite. It's got a season. The season 1 starts July 28th, so you've got a couple of weeks there to get used to the game, get used to the mechanics, and it will have a Blast Pass, Battle Pass. So if you want to get into it, give it a try. I think it's another free-to-play job, so why not? It's on PS4, Xbox, and PC, all at the same time on July 14th, and cross-play across all those as well.
Summertime, man. So if I'm getting into this, it's going to be fall or winter. So I'm screwed. I'm out.
You're too busy outside.
Everybody's going to be awesome by the time I would even consider it.
the reason I watched this press conference really was for the Star Wars game. They announced, I think it was leaked a week before, Star Wars Squadrons. The Star Wars gaming universe has got a massive following from the days back when you played X-Wing versus TIE Fighter and all those kind of flight sim games. People have wanted something a bit similar for years, and we had Rogue Squadron, we had a couple on the N64, the GameCube, I think, from memory.
I think they dropped the trailer a few days prior, but then they kind of went into detail here.
Yes, yeah, they dropped the trailer a few days before because it had been inadvertently posted, I think, on the Xbox game storefront.
Oh,
someone had inadvertently posted it on there. So then they were like, okay, yeah, we've got a game coming out. Here's the trailer, and tune into the EA Play in a few days' time. So one of those, but looks very cool. This does. It's a 5 versus 5 dog fighting game. So you've got your team, you've got your little squadron together, and it is inspired by those old school games. The old PC flight sim games where you have to think about more than just zooming around and shooting somebody. The more you get into it, the technique of kind of like dropping all the power to your weapons and your shields for speed, or vice versa. Like we're going to put all your shields into the back or the front, or power to weapons and things like that. And just manoeuvring while you're doing all that is a bit of a minefield. But looking forward to this one landing. It's also got a single player campaign, and I'm playing through the Battlefront 2 campaign at the minute, which, I'll talk about that on probably the next episode. But the story in this is very kind of similar. You're kind of picking a new recruit sort of thing, and you pick one on both sides, and you're playing on both sides of the story. So you're playing for the Empire, playing for the New Republic. I think the idea of the story in this is to get used to all the different ships and get used to the different classes of them, which, looking at the multiplayer and the requirement when you go into the multiplayer, you need to have had flight time with all the different ships. You need to be you need to be comfortable with everything that's in there. One good thing, the whole game is playable in VR. So if you do have a PSVR, you can play the whole thing in VR, which could be pretty cool.
Yeah, sounds like a vomit bag thing for me personally, but
well, it might be for a lot of people.
Yeah,
it did look like we got to see a few old, a little glimpse of some well-known characters as well. I'm sure I saw Wedge Antilles in there. This is set just after Return of the Jedi, pretty much, so that wouldn't surprise me.
Oh yeah.
You know that film well. And also there was another lady in there from the Star Wars Rebels cartoon. I can't remember her name, but she was in there as well in the video. So it could well be that there'll be something like Star Wars Battlefront, where you got the heroes and you can unlock them as you go through, and you play as those with abilities or perks or whatever. But it's October the 2nd, this one, so not long to wait at all. He's going to be obviously on EA Access and stuff, so it might be the best place to try this thing out. But yeah, I'm intrigued.
The whole like class-based fighters and getting to get to know all the characters and having to play through the campaign and 2 different sides and everything. A lot of that's kind of like meh, but it looks great. I mean, it just looks like it.
Yeah.
It looks like it'd be fun to play. Just jump in and play.
Yeah, I mean the Battlefront game that come out a couple of years ago now, the dogfighting stuff in it is beautiful, and it's pretty good fun, but it doesn't have the kind of, when you're looking at this trailer and the gameplay on Thursday, it really does feel like adrenaline just pushing through, like the movement of the ships, and I think this is compatible with flight sticks and things as well, so it's going to be fun, I think, for the people who are really into it. For me, I'm more about the stories and stuff, so it'll definitely be something I'll play, but I don't know if I'll be grabbing it day one. Probably I'll wait and see for reviews.
I think your Battlefront comparison is really good. I mean, it does look like it's more about the multiplayer. When they first announced this and I heard Squadron, kind of a nod to Rogue Squadron, I thought of that N64 game, the 2 GameCube games. Those are brilliant. I love those 2 games. Very single player, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's before like multiplayer was even an option, but this definitely looks more like X-Wing or X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, as far as it doesn't look like a squadron at all, except for it's not a Rogue Squadron nod, I think is what people were saying. It's not at all after seeing all this. It's more of an X-Wing.
Yeah, so I think that was probably it for me. There was a little teaser right at the end, which I think was more for might be more for Shane than me.
Well, hold, there's one more thing though that Shane, I thought of Shane when I saw it. They did like a Madden FIFA thing, like a little montage for Madden and FIFA. All of them, they showed the little Frostbite logo, like it's all exactly. Where's NHL and the Frostbite montage for sports games again?
Jeez, man,
another year you're not getting your Frostbite NHL.
Like what this it says to me, because it happened before, and with the rate they've been improving NHL over the years, that's got to be like the most mismanaged development team. Get me in there. Like they've had the same bugs for years in games, and we're working to fix that, and they haven't used Frostbite yet. Why? I have no idea. FIFA never takes a year off to improve their game. Madden never takes a year off to improve the game.
No, they lose billions, dude. They put it out no matter what.
Yes. Trash. Absolute trash. There's no reason why they would have to skip another year. Every time there's a new console, like, we have to take a year off. We got no idea what the fuck we're doing here. Like, slow it down, everyone. Like, get out, man. The fact that they haven't started using Frostbite yet is disappointing on its own. But yeah, I don't know. I was not really surprised. I mean, kind of, but after thinking about it, I'm like, why would they? Why would they, get another version of the game out? Like, whatever.
Yeah, the other two did it. I don't know.
Hey, the people ask. I give them my opinion.
Well, I mean, they did a little bit of a montage as well about the next gen stuff, but there wasn't really anything in there. It was just a bit of an overview of what they were doing, different tech demos and different animation things and stuff. Nothing of any note really. But the very last thing on there, which may appease Shane after obviously seeing that NHL wasn't in that EA Sports flash up there, it was a Skate. They are making a new Skate game.
Yes.
And they are very excited.
Apparently. I couldn't watch that clip of those guys. I mean, that's just, but hey, man, we got a new Skate coming. That's fantastic. Skate 3 was absolutely, actually, all three of the Skate games were really good. And they only got better and better each go. But that's Skate 3, the last one. Man, I remember just putting it on, getting into an online lobby. I mean, I had no microphone. I was, just had some tunes going, and just skating, with the people, and just so cash. And that's was my favorite part about playing the Skate games. It's just so cool. Just chill out, have a couple beers, get some good buddies, and just, try to pull something off, man. You see, brilliant, man. I'm super pumped.
That I wonder if you ever teamed up with the developer there who had some skateboards behind him in his work from home office there as he was talking about the game. All sorts of boards, but I could imagine that developer getting out on a board, getting into a bowl.
I don't know, man. Those boards look awfully new, still shiny.
Yeah, no,
the paint's all in one piece.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
exactly. Like, I don't know, son. It's probably given, from. See, that's what we do when folks like me can't actually skateboard. We got to play it in video games, and
that's right.
Tell those stories. That's what I should do, man. I should learn to skateboard.
Hell yeah.
I'm still young.
Give me Jenny's number. Give us Jenny's number just in case you're missing one day. We know. We could,
right?
I don't want to have to call all the hospitals.
Yeah, what we didn't see is a new Fight Night game. That's what we need. We finally getting Skate back. We finally did that years and years and years. Let's go, EA. Let's go. Let's get a new Fight Night. Let's bring back some boxing to video games, man. Fight Night Champion, unbelievable. One of the greatest boxing games in history. Absolutely incredible game. Fantastic. Completely skipped a generation. Let's go, EA. Let's do it. Let's get a new boxing game.
I'm still waiting on a new Ring King. Man, I've been waiting a long time.
Right?
Long time. How about a Punch Out? We had that on the Wii, but
Punch Out.
Give me a new Punch Out. Come on, EA. Oh, wait.
Right?
That's somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, we went about an hour here just on news. We got a couple games to talk about. You think we save them for next time? Is that good with you guys?
Yeah, of course.
So leave us a review on iTunes. We appreciate that. iTunes podcasts. You can join us on Discord. Lots of good conversation going on over there. You can find a link to that on our website, abandongamers.com. Of course, we have an email address, abogpod@gmail. Speaking of Discord, Brad's still doing his thing, recommending records. He's putting them in Discord now.
Yep.
And he had one this past couple weeks. It's called BPMD.
Yeah.
It's like a legend metalhead kind of crew, including Bobby Blitz from Overkill on vocals, playing a bunch of 70s hard rock tunes, mostly, and doing them in the style of 70s hard rock. I'd say they're using their metal equipment. You hear that kind of compressed, chunky guitar on a bunch of these old 70s hard rock tunes. But if that's your thing, if you like metal and you like 70s hard rock, and you want to roll in, my analogy here, you want to roll into a bar and see a bunch of your favorite metal guys just having fun, kind of leaving their originals at the door and just like drinking some beers or some whiskey and just jamming some of their favorite tunes. That's this record. You can tell the guys are having
a cool little record.
Yeah. You listen to it?
Yes. It's a cool record. Not something I would always go to and whatnot, but like you said, Joel, man, heading into the bar, like it's a beer drinking record. You know what I'm saying? You got some ribs on the barbecue. You got a couple tube steaks going down. You got some dirty old cheeseburgers, and you throw on that record. Get the Pink Whitney going. Got lots of beer going. Whatever your flavor is, man. That's a good record to go with that. Good summertime record.
Lovely. Yeah, I've only split it through once. I will go back to it. It's it certainly ticks a box. Like it's quite easy for me to throw on in the background, especially after listening to some heavier stuff. And it's got a nostalgia in there. Yeah, some of it works, some of it doesn't. I think so far. So I need another spin just to be sure.
Yeah, I thought Bobby Blitz's vocals. Now the dude from Overkill, that's kind of an acquired taste, and I think the band knew how to put a tune around him where he would shine. But to hear him do a bunch of other people's tunes, that's where it hits and misses a little bit for me. He doesn't sound great in every single one of those tunes, but there's a few on there, like Saturday Night Special. I mean, sounds really good.
Yeah,
sounds great on that tune. A few others. I don't know. I told Brad in the thread, and then I felt bad after. Like, was I too hard on that record? But to me, it's like get a PBR and out of the fridge in the summer in the garage. In Wisconsin here, I don't know if this is a thing by you guys, but we only get a couple months of like really good warm weather, and a lot of dudes around here, especially guys cranking the 70s hard rock, have an old school fridge in the garage. Just go out, hang out in the garage, get away from the family or whatever. Pop open the fridge, grab some PBRs. That's this record right here. Put this on that old tube stereo in your garage next to that 1950s fridge where you got a big old pile of PBR in there. Grab one of those or four of those. Put this record on.
The old lady nagging at you.
No,
why do you turn down?
That's your safe place, man. She's not allowed in that area. You're working on your car. I'll be in an hour. Leave me alone.
Oh man. I don't know. Titans of Creation was such a great recommendation. Like, and that was, I'm still listening to that one if I'm, being honest. But yeah, still good. It's still up my wheelhouse, but maybe there's another spin. We'll see.
Lots of good music coming out this summer. Hey, if you have any records you'd like to recommend, and we'd love to hear them because we're like sponges when it comes to music, join us on our Discord. Drop some albums in there. Let's talk about them. Let's listen to them.
Don't be shy.
No.
Get in there.
No.
There's lots of room. Come on into the Discord.
Totally. We're getting old. Our friends are dropping like flies. Come on, get up, get in there.
This is what?
All right, man.
You need to speak for yourself, man. The youngest guy around.
Hell yeah.
And you always will be.
Damn right, brother.
All right, cheers, guys. Raise them glasses. We all enjoyed a beer. You want to share what
Cheers, boy.
you want to share
Cheers,
what you're
everyone.
drinking?
Yeah, what do you got there, Palmer?
I'm just rocking the Hazy Jane from BrewDog. I'm waiting for a delivery from them with a special brew.
Are they dropping off a skid to you? You just ordered factory direct now?
Yeah, just off their website. It's well, they get more money from it that way, don't they? But yeah, I'm waiting for a delivery from them, so I'm just using my tried and tested at the minute. So rocking them Hazy Janes, a few guineas today, but these are nice and quite sweet to finish off on.
Nice. Went with a new Boombox. Boombox, one fantastic little. They took their Juicy AF, and then they did like a kind of a trial batch about a month and a half ago where they did the Juicier, and they just like double dry hopped it. I don't know. I mean, it's just full of hop flavor. Well, they did a trial run. And it was only for growlers and whatnot, and it sold out in like a matter of hours. So they finally done another batch, and they're canning it and whatnot. So I was able to get one of those, and actually more than one. But yeah, good solid IPA, really juicy, very hoppy, good stuff.
Going with that West Coast piney again. I'm not sure if I mentioned this one before. I didn't care. I looked in the fridge. I'm like, that's what I'm drinking. I don't even care if it's a repeat. Black Husky Brewing. It's a Sproose. Very good brew.
There it is.
Nice piney from a Wisconsin brewery. It's pretty hefty too. 8.6%.
Whoa.
Oh, nice. Be sleeping tonight.
Yep. No problems there. It's not easy to find. I don't think they make a lot. Small little brewery. So when I see them, I usually grab a couple 4-packs. Never been down there. I got to go down to the Milwaukee's east side and check this place out.
Yeah, stop in, say hi, grab a glass.
Yeah, I can't wait until we kind of get back to normal. Concerts. Yeah, but going to a pub and grabbing a pint right now is pretty high up on that list. I put that up near concerts as far as something I'm really anxious to return to. Saturday afternoon, get in the car, go hit up a couple. Love that.
Yeah.
Miss it.
I don't think we're far away over here, actually. I think our government are looking at the 4th of July around that time, I think, to reopen our boozers with a social distancing in there, obviously, and limited numbers through the door. So I'd imagine that they will need everybody to pull their weight, and everybody needs to drink, responsibly for the establishment. So you don't go in there and nurse a beer for an hour. Get a few down, you get some food. Help make opening up worthwhile for these places.
Yeah, I was down at Parallel yesterday. And inside, they've taken some of the seating out, so you're further apart and whatnot. And in between every 4 chairs, 2 by 2, they got the plexiglass up, to separate them as well. And then they also grabbed a bunch of their picnic tables, and what they did is they put them out where the first row of parking would be. So they got rid of that street parking and then just lined up a bunch of. There's got to be about 8 or 10 picnic benches outside. And they got a nice little patio that's just outside their front door on top of that. So to keep that strong and keep people coming down, the kitchen's back open, get some good grub and some top quality beers as well. So we've been in that for a few weeks now. They've opened up the restaurants and whatnot and bars, to get people in there, and every place is all doing their part and then some.
We've got a lot of my state has opened up. There's some pubs that are opened up, but a lot of my favorite haunts are still playing it careful. Like nice. they feel like obligated to be safe, and they don't have that. I mean, that's a good setup that Parallel's got there. I like the sound of that with some plexiglass, spreading it out. That's a proper setup to return.
Full sheet. Like you ain't talking to anybody sitting next to you, right? And they got it set up into 4s, so. Nice for the small parties and whatnot.
Yeah, we shall see. I know my favorite place, 1840, still has not opened up the indoors.
Nice.
Just takeout. But the takeout's going pretty good from what I understand. Like this time they had a lemon IPA. They called it IPA'd.
Ooh,
where they added this like a milkshake IPA
Nice.
that with lemon juice in it, so it's supposed to taste like a summer lemonade.
ooh, be a little bit sweet too.
I
A little
get-
milkshake, a little lactose in there.
Yeah, totally. And it sounded apparently the second time they've done it in a couple years. I don't recall having it before.
Well, what are you doing here recording, man? Go down there and get some.
I
Come on, son.
I pre-ordered it because I'm
Oh.
I've got the VIP membership like a sucker. That's worth it because I need access to their beers. But then they do like a public sale because
Yeah.
since they're not open, they used to have people line up on the public sale. Now they're doing it online. And my buddy Vince doing the public sale, and he's like, dude, it's sold out. They sell out in like, I don't know, hour or something. Real quick.
Yeah.
It's gone. So good
sounds
for
like
good for
sounds
them.
like Boombox. When they launch a new one, like if you're not down there like that afternoon or that morning, you can be waiting a couple weeks till they restock.
Isn't that just a shitter as well? Like if it's a beer that you really love, like there's nothing worse than, I mean, and I tend to buy a lot in bulk now. Like I'll make
boy.
sure I buy at least 8, because if you buy a new brew and it's amazing, and if you've only bought like a 4-pack and you pound 2 straight away and like, oh shit, I need to get some more of these, and then they've sold out completely, and you've got to wait for a whole new batch. Like that's the worst.
Oh, son, you gotta start ordering those flats, man. 8 ain't no bulk, son. You
I
need
said
those,
at least
you need those
8.
24s, man. You gotta get buy them by the flats nowadays, man. And at least until we get back to precedented times.
Yeah, true.
Well, thank you for
Still
listening.
learning.
We appreciate you all. Please join us on Discord. Come hang out. Start a conversation, or else chase him down with a skid of beer.
Right. Go on strike.
You can't go on strike.
Right.
We don't do that here. It's not an option.
Noted.
All right. See ya. Cheers. Bye. Remember, I got that lame ass intro, so let's all
Shit.
get it started here.
Fuck's
Oh,
sakes,
he's
hold
spilling.
I hope you recorded that.
It's recording.
Ah, brilliant. First time with a pint. First time with a pint. Bless him.
Which bless him is that? The good one or
That's
the bad one?
context.
Yeah.
That's the context right there. It's like, oh, he's a bit special.
Got it. Starting to get this bless him thing.
Yeah, it's situational.
It is. I never know whether it's like when you say it to me, if I should be offended or give you a hug. Like,
Yeah, hang on. Fuck's sakes.
ooh.
Love it.
Anyway, we're doing podcasts.
Yep. It's only our 217th one of these.
Still, every day is a learning curve.
I think our podcast setup should just have a beer rag hanging nearby, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got one of these long mouse mats, and every now and again I keep thinking that it's like we have like a beer towels on the bar and stuff. It's, if only the material would substitute us both.
I've used my T-shirt a few times. Just reach out, like,
Oh yeah, you got to that.
Wipe it off.
All right, fishing aborted.
Rig it back into the glass.
Fuck, man. It's like craziness. That's how fired up we are today. New epi.
Are we ready? Well, I know you ain't gonna spill because you already took care of that, so we're all set,
I
right?
still got one more here. I'll dump on myself for later.